Well, the internet is creating more ways for you to make money than you could shake a stick at. Whatever the heck that means. I think it's an old guy saying I heard, 50 years ago or whatever. But it's true. There are more ways now than ever before. And here's a new way. Watch this interview, because now you can make money with your idea right in your own neighborhood, a passion you have for something locally. There's a website now where you could put it on and charge money to help like tourists that come in town. Sort of like, say maybe you live in Cleveland or something like that, and somebody from China comes in and wants to go to a ball game. Well, you have a service that takes them to a ball game and has fun. Exotic tours like that. See, people are getting so upset with just these package tours that the tour guides are saying the same thing over and over again. And they're bored as hell after 5 minutes, and then the audience is bored too. So they're looking for these unusual adventures. So maybe you invite people over your house to teach them how to cook kielbasa or whatever you do, whatever you like to do. And that's what's so neat, and that's why there's more ways to do that. And see, what's neat about the internet now, there's platforms. That's what he's building, is a platform where you put it on the platform, and so you don't have to do the marketing, because then people are coming to this website to find unusual things to do when they're in some strange city. And you'll have your things. And if it doesn't work, you change it and put something else in there. You go, okay, maybe I do pub crawling or something, or strip clubs or whatever you want, And it's just an experience. And see, it costs nothing for you to do it. And that's what's neat. I mean, the biggest problem with starting any business is getting customers, And so if you have a customer, you have a business. So with platforms, it costs no money to put your idea on there and see if somebody bites, And if they don't, then you try another idea. That's what life is about, is picking yourself up and trying again. You don't know what works, you're guessing. But until you put it somewhere and get feedback, they'll say, hey, maybe you'll get somebody saying, yeah, I don't want to go to pubs, but I like to go to wine bars. Ooh, I didn't know that. Okay, I can do that too. I like to play golf. Oh, okay, we can do that. And that's what's so neat. And now with tourism being so much more prevalent in all the cities in America, it doesn't matter where you are. There's foreign people coming in like to know, or people from Milwaukee who act foreign too, and want to know. So that's what's so cool about the internet now. There's so many new ways to make money that you never thought about or could even dream about doing. So watch this interview. Well, Maxim Besniet. And you won't find that in Google, maybe, because you won't probably spell it right, but you will be able to find VeryLocalTrip.com. And this is really ingenious, Maxine. I really think that this is the way the world's going. You're ahead of the curve, you're in front of the wave, and it's fun to be on the front of the wave because it's going to take you for a long time. Those that get on the end, man, the ride is too short. But really, you're really giving income opportunities for local people, in the tourism industry. So anybody now could be a tourist with their passion, whatever they like. They like going to baseball games. Well, they could be a tourist, taking people to baseball games when they come to town. You like cooking, bring them to your kitchen and they cook. But more importantly, that somebody gets a real special experience instead of some professional travel, consultant who, just recites monuments to you.
Yes, exactly. We make it easy for travelers to be connected with real locals.
Yeah.
And we give the opportunity for locals to make some extra money and share their passions and share the knowledge of the local culture.
I know, what could be better than that? I mean, everybody wins. And not only that, but traveling now, instead of going in the big buses and the program tours and the guy who said the same thing 50 times already today, and is bored as hell, can't wait to get home, you got somebody who just loves doing what they're doing. And then you meet them as a foreigner, and then that experience has to be much more than, just some robot who's taking you around.
Exactly. At the end of the day, people can become friends anyway, because the guides usually they don't want to socialize or to mingle after the tour. They're doing their job. So it's a totally different approach, much more personalized, and of course very local.
Right. Well, it's like you and I. We love what they're doing. You love what you're doing. You're up 8 o'clock in the morning there working. I'm up 9 o'clock at night. We're still working because we love what I do. So
Exactly. Passion, when you wake up in the morning and you're so excited about what
oh man.
you're doing, and
Yeah.
it's great, and we want to make it a big success. We are still a startup, of course. That's what we do in the crowdfunding campaign, actually, and yeah.
Well, and actually, then everybody could take their passion and share it with people and make money on it, no matter how silly you think it is. I mean, because, gosh, I mean, could you imagine somebody from, Japan or something coming and you taking them to a baseball game, and
That's
showing them what to do? Yeah, instead of
people are looking for. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, but anywhere in the world, and I think that will help, connect communities together more than anything else, instead of a corporation.
Sure. I started this because, I've been living in Bangkok for 5 years, and I realized when people arrive here for the first time, they are lost.
Yeah.
Bangkok is a crazy city. You have pollution and it's traffic jam, the jet lag. So you need to know. But people want to try the street food, the spicy street food. They want to see the local markets with
Right.
the real Thai people. And it's not easy to do, when you stay only 2-3 days in the city, that is completely strange for you. So this is a good way to see the local community.
Absolutely. And something out of the way and different. Like now, I mean, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is go to your site. So if people come to Washington, I love Washington, but I'm the same old monuments to take around. I'm going to show them agencies who give out money to meet the bureaucrats who give money to people.
Good, good, good. Yeah, it's a great idea. Actually, I want to make a local trip about the startup ecosystem in
Yes.
Thailand, which is growing. Why not? Why not?
Yes, that's a wonderful idea. I think, because I was just in Shanghai and the startup community there, and if I had something like that, a local person, and actually there was a local person, I stayed in an Airbnb, so the local person who ran the Airbnb, owned it, had told me about a startup thing that was happening. I went, and they wanted me to speak, and everything was great, and it made my whole trip just because that local person.
Yeah, it's really active here, but not many people know
Yeah.
in the US or in Europe. So it's a good idea, actually. I like
No,
it.
it is. But going the other way, I mean, could you imagine? I mean, even if I went, your home is France. So if I went to France, and I went to a local club soccer or football, as you call it, game with a local person who knew exactly, the hooligans and where to stand and all this kind of.
Yeah, it's make a big difference, and you will remember, will give this memory of your trip, of
Yes,
course.
yes,
Very
yes.
beautiful thing. Yeah, yeah.
Now, instead of that safe same-o, that every tourist gets when they just get off the plane and they, go to the hotel and there's 5 tours they take that everybody does. And well,
Yeah, and be in a bus full of Chinese, Russian, or even French people, it's so.
and I'm sure none of the locals have ever taken any of those 5 tours.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. But when you go to Paris, for example, you want to see the Eiffel Tower, of course. You want
Yeah.
to see the Mona Lisa, but you also want to discover this wine bar with a secret entrance
Yes.
that Paris. It's not in the guidebook, right? So
Exactly. Oh no, it's just a wonderful idea, and I think where we're going, because everyone now, no jobs are safe, so it's good to have an extra job or something, extra income, and then maybe that could lead into a full-time income too. Because you imagine the nicest thing in the world, and because you were in a bureaucrat,
yeah,
and
definitely, I realize that some people, they just want to do it part time, as you say,
yes.
like make some extra money, sharing their passions. But some people want to do like a full time job. But anyway, I fully agree with you that in the future the economy will
Yes.
be more and more empowered by people.
Yes.
So this
Absolutely.
global sharing economy is growing anyway.
Right.
And if you see in Paris this taxi lobby.
Yeah, oh, exactly. The fights last week.
Sense,
Yeah.
and this is the
But,
future of traveling
what it happens is the resources are better. So if you're doing it as an independent, then that you could do it cheaper and even make more money individually than if you work for some corporation who's hiring you to do the work, because then they have to pay for all the management and the overhead and everything, all that kind. So you make more money as a freelancer than as you do working for somebody.
Exactly, right. So,
And then that way too, you have more than one customer. So instead of having one boss to worry about, if you have 5 or 6 bosses, then you don't have to worry about one guy doesn't like you.
yeah, and the locals can meet travelers from all over the world. You know, it's
Yes.
also interesting in terms of connection and networking.
It's wonderful. The world is shrinking, and it's so exciting. I mean, the only way I'm reading a book now called Social Physics, and the physics part of it, for our social, how we make ideas better. So the more we mix with people we don't know and ideas we don't know, the more ideas come. And then we can all, as a community together, advance faster and better and have more fun doing it.
Exactly. Share your ideas with everyone.
Yes. Well, you're a delight, Maxim. And I'm glad you thought of this to give it to the rest of us and to make our lives more enriched and even more profitable. And actually, you have a fundraiser now on a crowdfunding site on Indiegogo, but you can get there by going VeryLocalTrip.com and really just watch the video. I mean, your video is so wonderful, Maxine. I mean, it really gives a flavor, and I love that rainy street scene in the Bangkok when I don't know who it is that you jump onto this jitney and everything, and there's rain and the wet street around. Man, it's like an exotic movie. I want to see the rest of the story.
Yeah, it was a really homemade video with a GoPro with one of my friends, and we were very heavy rain that day. And we were like, oh God! But finally, it's not bad, and
Oh,
people
it looks
really.
wonderful. That makes it more charming and it looks more real to me and everything. So everybody should go at least watch the movie. You're going to see a great Bangkok movie. VeryLocalTrip.com.
Yeah.
Maxime, thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much.